We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny southern, well, not so sunny, but sunny southern, typically California.
Today we talk about how to get free land comparison values in Excel format.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that tuned into this show.
There's three things beautiful in that sentence. Free,
Free's good.
comps,
That's good.
Excel.
That's true. But it's a certain person that puts those all together and says, "Oh, I got to hear this one."
There's a certain person who chooses to be in the life of another person who likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's my problem.
Right before we sat down, Jill said, does this chair make my butt look big? And we're sitting in the exact same chairs and like to who? The people out there?
That's what he says. Like, the people behind you, do you really care? I don't care. That was a joke.
All right.
I don't care.
It's funny.
If anything, a big chair makes your butt look small. It's
Oh,
good.
yeah. These are the thoughts I have right after I'm done with Excel.
Right.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Ellie says, generally speaking, how does everyone handle an acquisition where the vesting deed is a limited warranty or quitclaim deed? Title companies won't insure them. So unless selling wholesale to an investor, it would be difficult to sell to an end user, as most end users want title insurance, right? I've been passing up on good deals due to this issue. I'm aware quiet title suits and or quitclaiming from previous owners are options as well, but they take time and upfront money. I'm curious what everyone else does or has experience with. You want to go first?
So I chose this topic.
Okay.
This is a really busy week in landinvestors.com. I go in there before we record the shows and I choose questions, land investors and house academy. And sometimes on the social media, Facebook groups and stuff. And I chose this question because it's a concern for a lot of people and it's not a valid concern. So I want to dispel it right now. There's a bunch of different ways for me as a person or a company to deed property, let's say to Jill, if I sell it to her. And you can go out and do all the research, just a simple Google search and say ways to take title for a property or ways to convey a deed. And all the title companies have these cool little charts and they list them all and they list when it's appropriate and when it's not. So I'll dispel the whole myth. Warranty deed, when you sign a warranty deed and I sign it and I convey it to her, it means that I'm warranting or insuring the quality of the title since back to the homestead times. Why the hell would I ever do that? Ever? What interest do I have in insuring, giving my assurance? I don't even know. I don't know what happened with that. So we never convey properties with the warranty deed. However, if you go through title, they do it that way for you. Oh, thanks a lot, title company. Thanks for putting me on the hook forever. There are ways to say, hey, there's title insurance. However, I'm not going to go down that path. So that's one way to take title. A warranty deed to Jill. I insure the whole title. It's the best case for her. It's a win-win for her. It doesn't cost her anything. She gets it all. Special warranty deed means that I am warranting the quality of the title for the time that I own it, which in our case is like a week or sometimes less, or let's say, a couple of months realistically. So that's pretty actually realistic. I didn't mess with the title while I owned it. So that's how we convey property, special warranty deed. This whole notion of a couple of events back in the chain, there was a quitclaim deed conveyance. Or, well, what else was the other one that she said?
Limited warranty, which is like special warranty.
Limited warranty and special warranty are the same. This whole notion of, oh man, it's just the property sucks now and it's flawed somehow is a joke.
That's the point.
It's an absolute joke. This is a young title agent getting in Ellis's ear and making they're lazy.
Worried.
Because they're lazy. Because very often title agents from deals that we've done years ago will call us or email us and say, hey, we saw this conveyance. It doesn't pass all of our tests. Would you mind signing this affidavit that says this is all real and the deal is, and of course we sign it and send it back. So
That's proving that down the road you can't get title insurance.
This is to solve this, Alice, go to a different title company. Just pack up all your papers and say, you know what, you clearly don't get it.
Or it sounds like in this situation, you're not even using a title company. You're just worried about it, about conveying title. So I want to cover a couple more things too, to piggyback on that, which is first of all, never assume what your end buyer is going to do with the property. If they're going to build on it and there's going to be loans involved, that's when title insurance might be needed. If they're going to dump they're going to roll up there and camp on it and love it and maybe even build their own cabin on there and not take out a loan, they're happy. They don't need title insurance. You don't need title insurance. Everybody's cool. So that's number one. Number two is there are companies out there, like I think it's taxtitleservice.com, that they can go back and they will get you title insurance on some of these quote unquote questionable situations.
Or back tax property. We use them for when we buy back tax deeds or foreclose on tax liens. I wouldn't. It's expensive. So it costs a couple grand to do this.
Right.
So just because somebody did a quick claim deed 30 years ago, there's no reason to go back to tax title services, I don't think.
Right.
The quick claim deed, by the way, the history of that is Farmer John and his wife owned 4,000 acres because they homesteaded it. He had 18 children because that's his workforce to harvest his.
Because there was nothing else to do on the farm.
And he wanted to keep his wife barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen or whatever. And so now he's got 18 kids and he starts subdividing all this property that he homesteaded himself. 40 acres to his son, 40 acres to his daughter, 40, 40, 40. He quick claims deeds. Right. There's no reason to get anyone involved in that except he walks down to the county with his kids, signs some stuff and records it and they own it. So is that bad?
No.
Is that flawed somehow?
No.
So
this is good.
This makes me a little.
I understand. I can tell. I can tell. So you know what? I guess to sum it all up, Alice, don't get hung up on the details.
Get a second opinion.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
These conveyance documents,
don't get hung up. Don't assume it's bad, and just go. This also ties into. I was talking to someone about the other day, like they were just joining Land Academy, like, okay, what do I need to know? And I'm like, well, one of the things that I've heard so much from all of our members is get your own preconceived notions, just forget them. Don't even, because when people get into our community, well, even those of you listening right now, they're kind of going, is this real? Trust me. Yeah. What we do, and so many of us have these preconceived notions like, can't possibly work. You mean I can really send offers and people answer them and they want to sell the property and all those different things. Just move on.
This Friday, we're going to record a show and here's the title. I don't want to learn anything new.
Oh.
And the title of the show is really for me.
Oh, okay.
And this is a classic example. So congratulations, by the way, if you're involved in this and you've done a couple of deals or you're on the way to doing some deals, you want to learn some stuff that's new.
Yeah.
The huge points of contention, it's only a few people that pound our customer services because in the end, they don't want to learn anything new.
Okay.
That's the next show later.
Okay.
Today's topic, how to get free land comparison values in Excel format. This is the meat of the show. Last week, we spent all week talking about, I did really, and Jill just sat there.
That's true. I loved it.
About how to choose a county, how to price a county for land and houses and everything else. This is a kind of a conclusive topic to all of that. You have to support these theories. So if you're going out and you say that XYZ County in Texas looks like a good place to send out mail for houses or for land or a zip code, well, how do I know? We're not here to guess. We're here to eliminate risk and put a bunch of money in our pocket. So this is what you do. And this is recent. It's a recent development by redfin.com. When you're going through and choosing these theoretical counties or zip codes, you need comparison values for pricing and backup. And so Redfin took their website and their data set to the level of open source. If you're a computer person, we all know about open source and how Windows is open source and Android's open source and the Apple products are not. And that's a different topic. But Redfin
We won't get you started.
truly believes in open source, as do I. So imagine you could take realtor.com, which is a very robust, and I would say closest thing to real time real estate data nationally. Like every square inch of the country is covered by realtor.com. Imagine if you could download that when you wanted to and get it into a format that you could use it for sales comparisons, active listings, and you could break it all down by product type, multifamily, mobile home, SFR, commercial, land. Imagine if you can do that. Well, Redfin does that for you. The only catch is that Redfin doesn't have 100% of the coverage of the whole country. They have a lot of it. They have pretty urban areas are covered because that's where they make their dough, which I understand. They took it to the place where you can download it. So this is what you do. And even if you're not into this or you're just listening to this because you like Joan and you just put up with me, really spend like 10 minutes because it's just cool as heck. Go into Redfin, maybe where you live or whatever area that you're thinking about investing in. Go to the right side, open that up, choose a zip code or choose a county or some geographic parameter, and download it. Download the data and bang, bang, bang. And like maybe 3 or 4 clicks, you've got an Excel spreadsheet on your computer. You're sitting there looking at comparison values of all the property that's been sold. And you decide up to 3 years and a for sale property.
Well, I was doing it it's even fun on the map part. I just was playing with this yesterday. Not playing with it. I was using it yesterday because I had someone that submitted something for deal funding. And I got all excited about it. I'm like, I like it. I like it. I like it. And my last test for reason was, let's see how much for sale property is out there and how fast it's moving. So I went in there and I went, oh man.
I hate that.
I know. And I took a screenshot. I had to show him, here's a screenshot of how much is available out there. This is not good. And then I went on the map function. You can go back 3 months and 6 months and just look on a map and see sold. And there's like 3. And they were like,
what was the problem in that market, do you think?
You know what? Well, this is even better. So I went and I read there was a neat little Redfin percentage showing that the home prices in this area are declining and the days on market are increasing. I don't know why. It's a state.
What state is it?
Tennessee.
And what part of
I can't think of the exact name of that.
Real urban?
Medium to urban, but
I honestly can say I haven't, in this market, which is a very good market, I haven't seen.
Yeah, it was a part of Tennessee that I went, shucks. For whatever reason, things aren't moving in that area. And like I said, the home prices are declining. Days on market are increasing. And I went, what's going on? That's where I stopped. I mean, if it was me and it was my mailer, I would have really dug into it and saying, did they just close a plant there? You know, what's happening with this community? But it was just for me.
It's appropriate to disclose where this is now.
I can't remember the name of the exact area, honestly.
Okay.
So, do you want me to look on my phone?
Actually, and I'll cover for you. Because I really think that this is a house now, not land, right?
No, it was land. So it was land.
But you were looking at all properties or just
I was only looking at land.
And it's going down.
Yeah, well, so I was looking at land. And
I can honestly say I don't remember ever seeing this.
But the percentages and the little thing is, so the 15% decrease, and that was on the home prices, not on land. But
it all trickles into each other.
So interesting. Yeah, cover for me here because I did a screenshot and I sent it to Amy. I said, hey,
Amy's Jill's assistant.
Yeah, I said, please here we go. So here, look at this. There's a map of all the available property here.
Put it up on the screen.
Do you guys want to see? I don't know if you guys can see, but look at all the red dots there. That's just land, all that's available. And I went, darn.
You can't really see the area.
And, well, here it is. It's Tellico Plains and Tellico Beach. It's gorgeous. Look they have $1.5 million properties, but they're all over the place. 1.5 million and 26,000. And I'm like, darn it.
So here's the opportunity in a market like this.
Yeah.
If you send a mailer out and in some where you're seeing declining prices, man, you better send it out at like 10%.
Right.
So you will pick up some property and you will resell it.
It may take a little time.
Right.
So
DLM's 327.
Yeah. I had 2 comps I found that were similar to this one. One had $327 days on market. This was, and the other one had.
I would move to the next area.
It was just like I couldn't.
This is a good case study, Joe.
So
super helpful, actually.
Thank you. And this
is a perfect example of this. Well, this smoked it out before you make a mistake.
Well, and here's the thing. Exactly. Don't make a mistake. And you know here's what's sad. The guy Mark, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. Your original offer was better. He came in an offer at like $6,000. The guy countered at 10. So Mark was going, okay, we'll do 10 or 10.5. No, Mark, your gut was right. You should stick to 6. That makes sense. And then at that price, you probably don't even need my deal funding.
We see we see these counter offers in deal funding all the time.
Yeah.
Where the original, it was priced right. Everybody did everything right. The seller came back and said, I don't like 6, I like 10. And really what should happen is you should say,
it's 6.
I like 6.
Yeah. Oh, now that, well, you know what I would do?
So good luck with 10.
You know what I would do too? Like if I say I didn't do my due diligence ahead of time and I didn't look to see, this is a value of what's out there too. Part of your due diligence before you send out the mailer, please do this last step and go see how much is available for sale right now in that area. That may stop you in your tracks. If Mark had done that, he might have went, oh, I'm moving on to the next area. Okay, but that's okay. Say you did it wrong. Now you're not wrong, but you missed that step, right? And you're doing what I'm doing right now. Because if I look at what's available with all these red dots on this thing, if the guy said, no, 6 doesn't work for me, I'd come back and go, shucks. I'd show the seller, here's what's available out there.
So would I. 6
became 3.
Yep.
And if you don't take 3, I wish you well. Because at 3 o'clock or for 3,000, I'll let it sit in my inventory for a while. Because there's going to be 6 or 10,000, I'm not going to bother. I'll move on.
There's going to be another deal tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So super. I'm glad we brought this up.
Yeah. How's that for impromptu?
That was really good.
Happy you could join us today.
There it is. I wasn't sure which part of the script I'm supposed to look at. Most of this, as you can tell, is clearly unscripted. In case you weren't sure, this is funny because I'm in a bunch of podcast groups, I have to say, or Facebook groups, and one of them was a podcast thing, and everybody talks about how much editing they do. Well, we clearly do 0 editing.
They talk about editing?
They do. They talk about editing and I did all this. I'm not sure it's good enough to release. I'm like, we don't even think twice about it. We just like, good enough, get it out there. It's real.
Yeah. I mean, if we had to edit all these and really.
Could you imagine?
This is all we would do.
Well, it would be professional.
We'd probably have more than 7 listeners too.
Maybe. So sorry. We clearly don't edit and we clearly just kind of go with it. So if you're listening, you get it and you like it. So, and one of the reasons you like it, because we don't have commercials anyway. So thank you for joining us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find us right here on the Land Academy Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, zip on over and catch us on the House Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the House Academy Show is called Minimum Profit Per Deal to Make It Worth Your Effort. Like, I'm going to make 20 grand on this. Is it worth it? Right. I'm going to make 2 grand on this. Is it worth it? I'm going to make 200.
Right. Like Mark's. Also, we could talk about that too. What prices makes it sense?
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. What's your threshold? Give them
I got it.
What's your real house threshold?
Oh, house threshold?
Yeah, be honest.
Shucks. 40.
Yeah, I'm at 35.
Yeah.
35 if I don't have to do any work. If we have to get involved and I have to listen to you solve somebody else's problem, which happens.
Yeah, it needs to be more.
It needs to be closer to 80.
I won't do 10. I won't do 20.
No.
I won't mess with it. Even an overnight home run, 10,000 is kind of too little.
I agree. This is going to be a good show.
Good. As I stated earlier, because this is unscripted, the Land Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please help us out and subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy covering for Jill's mistakes.
Undervalued property. Correct.